Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So we're going to make this vase mold. It sets up like this. You put your little vase piece through there, which I do have some that we'll put together afterwards. And we're going to do this in pinks and reds for Valentine's Day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up about 2 ounces of resin. We're going to put some shells, these pink crushed shells in some of it, because we're going to put it along this bottom. And then I'm going to mix in just a little tiny bit of this extra. It's a twinkle dust or something it's called from Lmnop. And I ordered this. I didn't realize they were going out of business until I ordered it. And then I seen that they were shutting down. So they have closed and you won't be able to get it. But I thought we'd put a little bit of that in our resin. And then we're going to do some of these pinks. And I want some of these. I think those are really pretty. And some of these pinks and reds that's in this as well. We're going to put that in the resin. Then we'll put it into the vacuum chamber. And we're just going to do a thin layer down in there because flowers will float. I need them to get stuck. And we're going to let that cure up. Once that's cured, we're going to pour another layer. And if we need more flowers, we'll put more flowers. And I'm not sure if I want to do a mica powder, a paste, or glitter behind this. So we'll see. It's all according to how I feel at the moment. So let's mix up some resin. First, get your gloves on. Always wear your gloves. You do not want to get resin on you. I don't care if it's UV resin or if it is epoxy. It doesn't matter. All right, and we're only going to do 2 ounces. So we're going to use a little cup. So I really feel like 2 ounces is going to be enough using my Von Craft resin. I do have a 20% off discount code for you guys that I'll put up on the screen, as well as in the description box as always. You can use it on their website for anything they have on their website. And they have their molds on their website now too, which is awesome. Love their molds. I'm just going to pour this up to the 1 mark. Almost. Okay. I'm not the greatest pourer, am I? I've kind of slung it everywhere. So let's see if we can get that to go down in there so I can get an accurate measurement. There we go. Now let's wipe this off so we can do part A. I love Von Crafter resin. It doesn't stink. I've used some that would gag you if you tried to use them. All right, we're on exactly 1. Von Crafter cures up very well. Has few bubbles. And it's easy to work with. I really like it. Go up to our 2 mark here. There we go. Now, like I said, I just need a very, very thin layer. So I am going to mix this. You mix resin for 3 to 5 minutes. You see how cloudy it got? Very, very cloudy. And what we're going to do is you just keep mixing. Now I mix fast, so I incorporate a lot of bubbles. But if you mix slow, you wouldn't get very many bubbles in this resin. So if you don't have a debubbler or a vacuum chamber, I would suggest mixing slow so you get few bubbles, but it degasses very well. If you don't have any of those, then you just let it sit 5-10 minutes and it will get rid of just about all of the bubbles. But you're going to mix this for 3 to 5 minutes until you see no more streaks. I don't even see streaks anymore, but I'm still going to mix it for that length of time. Scrape your sides because that resin on the side is not going to be mixed unless you scrape the side of that cup. So make sure you scrape that. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to finish mixing this up and we'll be back to put some stuff in it and then put it in the vacuum chamber. So I'll see you shortly. All right, guys, I got a lot of bubbles down in there because, like I said, I get a little wild. So let's get some shells here. And we're just going to do a bottom layer. Okay, I think that's enough. Now, pink shells. I got these from Laura's Art Corner because I have them labeled. So I know that's where they came from. I'm just going to put a little resin on them, because it's going to equal out anyways once it's in the piece. So that's good for that. Now I'm going to clean this stick off, because we're going to put the rest of this in this little cup. Let that sit there and put some flowers in it. I don't want to do it in my plastic cup, because I clean these cups and reuse them. They're very easy to clean. All I do is spritz them down with some alcohol, wipe them down with a paper towel. Then I take a baby wipe and wipe them out. And then I take another dry paper towel and wipe any fuzzies that baby wipe left. And yeah, it works great. You can't even hardly tell that I've used it when I do it that way. And then I get multiple uses out of these cups. Get all of this out of there. Okay, one more little scrape. There we go. Now, I'm just going to take my alcohol, spritz it down in there. It blew back my face. All right, we're going to let that sit, and it'll help that resin to run down to the bottom of the cup. All right, let's put in a little bit of this extra. Probably shouldn't have cleaned my stick yet, should I? I don't need a lot, just a little. It's going to give it like a little shimmer. And that's all I want. Just a little shimmer in my resin. Because I have a feeling the colors on these flowers might run and color the resin anyways. Isn't that pretty? I know you guys probably can't see it. Yeah, scrape that off there. Now, oops. Grabbed another glove. Clean that off. Let me put the lid on this, because y'all know how I am. That will end up in the floor if I leave it as is. Okay, we'll put some of those down in there. I'll break these apart. I'm just going to, I want them to be coated. That way, when I put them in the resin, they will stay. Get a little more red ones. Okay. Now, I kind of like these as well. So I think I'm going to break that stem off, put that in there. And get that one as well. So we're going to kind of layer these out. Get that one. And those little balls just kind of fall off. So we'll put a few of them in there. Okay, I'm going to get the lid back on this sucker. These flowers I've had forever and a day. So, not sure where I got them. Probably Temu a couple years ago, I'm sure. If I can find them, guys, I'll link them, but I can't guarantee that I will. Okay, got some of those. Let's do, well, we didn't do any red ones of these either, did we? So we gotta open that sucker back up. So I have a feeling we might need more flowers too. You know, the heat's always got to kick on when you're working. Never when you're just sitting up here. Get some red ones. Come on. We got them away. Get those down in there. I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to have to stick my fingers in this, I know, when I go to do this. Oh, there's some little white balls. Let's get a few of them in there. Ooh, see them go everywhere? All right, let's see if I can get this lid back on this without damaging everything. Those little white flowers in there. There's a stray. All right. Guess I could do some of the white, couldn't I? Can I have a mixture? White would be pretty as well. And since we're going to do some of the white ones, let's also get some of this. This looks kind of cool. It's kind of falling apart on me, but you can tell how dried out it is. That'll work. All right, now see if I can get the lid on this one. Okay, there's a little white one. Now guys, I gotta clean it. I can't take all this in my face like that. I can't work with it. I had a friend come over yesterday and she was laughing at me. She said she could tell how OCD I was just because of how I have my colors arranged by my mica powders and pastes. I have all my eye candies in one spot, all my octopus fluids in one spot, all my This Little Piggies together, and then everything else other than all my alcohol inks are separated by brands as well. And then all of my other colors are separated by color. All my yellows are together, my greens are together, my blues are together, and such. All right, there we go, guys. We've got all that down in there. So we're going to put this in the vacuum chamber. I am going to have to watch this because it's liable to overflow on me. And I'll need that. So let's get these in the vacuum chamber. We'll be back in just a moment to start putting this thing together. Alrighty, guys. So that didn't take maybe 3 minutes in the vacuum chamber. And I'm going to get my stones in first. Like I said, I don't want them to spread out too much. I do want to have them spread out a little bit. Okay. I'm just getting resin everywhere, aren't I? Okay. Now, let's see. If that's going to be the top, it's going to lay down this way. So I want more this way than I do the other way. So just get these right down in here. That little pink one in there. Now, there we go. Now, let me clean this off. And we're going to just put this right over in here so we don't waste any of it. Now comes the fun part. The flowers. Ugh. I don't know where I stick my hands down that. All right. Gonna get some white ones down in there. That one's got a red one. Got to get it under this this piece where the oh, what do you call it? Where the little vase piece is going to go. We're just going to kind of scatter it around. Yeah, there's a good purple one. So we're going to put that right down in there. Get this. See if we can kind of just squiggle that right down in there. I think these are going to look really pretty. Get that there. Oh yeah, here's our that. I want that to turn up. There we go. I want you to be able to see it. Okay. Here's some more purple. Because you're going to see the bottom's going to be the front. So you want to see those pretty colors. The pretty pieces. I would definitely want to see that. Put that down in there. Here's another purple. Kind of, if I can turn it up. There we go. Now, okay. There's a purple one. So we're going to stick that right there. And we can put on top of this as well. I want that there. Come on. You know you want to go down in there. I told you I'm going to have to stick my fingers in this. I'm dripping now, aren't I? Oh well. Let's turn around here. I'm going to drip it everywhere. Why not? It's another big old purple piece. Let's stick him right down on top of that. Come on, buddy. Oh, there's a pretty white piece, if I can get it. Get that down in there. Come on. There we go. Now, we're just going to get this stuff out and just try to get it in there however we can. And I'm just making a mess. That white one became almost translucent. Did you see that? Okay, now, not much left other than just the resin. So, I got to clean this resin up that I've spilt everywhere. Because I will get into that. It doesn't matter where it's at. I will get into it. Promise. Not meaning to, but I will. Okay. There's one. Give me another one. Get any residual that's still there. Clean the mold. I think we'll be okay. Gonna be sticky, but I think we'll be good. All right. There we go. Now, get our spatula. We're going to pour this right down in here. And this resin should just kind of spread out. I probably should have spritzed some alcohol down in there to make sure we don't get bubbles, but I didn't. Okay, now we're just going to scrape this, and whatever's left, we're just going to get right down in this mold, because it should equal itself out. But like I said, I'm afraid that these flower pieces will lose their color. The dye will come out in the resin, and then it'll all just look white. I've had that happen before using some flowers. Not all of them, but some. Okay. Now, just going to try to get off what I've spilt. Clean that up just a little bit. Alright guys, I need to poke that. I gotta clean that. Those will go in the bin. That white needs to go down in there. I don't want that poking up. There we go. And I'm just poking down what I can. I'm not sure how we'll do our next layer. Because I do feel like a lot of this is going to float. My shells will stay put, but some of it's going to float. There we go. All right, guys. We are going to let that cure up. And where's all this coming from? I keep on spilling it. I believe it's just bubbling back up what I haven't got off. All right. There we go. Now, you can see where most of that ran right down in that cup. That alcohol. Just going to spritz that again, and then I'm going to clean that up in just a minute. I'm going to put this up because we won't need it anymore. We're going to let this cure, and then we'll come back for our next layer. So, see you guys shortly. All right, guys, so I have 47 grams of resin in here. I put 22 grams of part B and 25 grams of part A, and this is just the regular epoxy resin by Bond Crafter. I'm going to put a little bit of this little sparkle dust in there, and we're just going to cover this over. I'm going to put it in the vacuum chamber after I get it mixed up. Let's see if that's enough. I want it to be pretty. Okay, let's see. Get it mixed in good here. Scrape it off your stick. As you know, there's going to be some that sticks. It always does. Okay, push that down, mix it up. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Can you guys see that sparkle? I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Gives it a pink tint with this like blue-purple sparkle through it. All right, guys, I'm going to mix this up, get it in the vacuum chamber. We'll be back to pour in just a moment. After we get this done, when this cures up, then, because it looks like everything's staying down in there. So once this cures up, I think I'm going to do a backing of the pink snow from Just Resin. It's pigment paste. It's a shimmer paste, and it's so pretty. It's just a very, very light pink. And I think that'll look really pretty behind this. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to get this mixed, get it in the vacuum chamber, and we'll be back in just a moment. Alright, guys, so I got my resin out of the vacuum chamber. Now let's just dump this over top, and hopefully we don't have bubbles, and this will just fill in every little hole down in there. I hope. Just let it kind of flow along on its own. I see a couple bubbles I'm going to have to pick out. Or a bubble anyways. I don't need too much of the top left open. I see a bubble. It's got to come out. So we can fill that up. Right there. Now, let me get this one over here. It's a good thing about it still being soft, because you can get those bubbles out. Get all the air out of this one and you won't even know that it was ever there. There we go. Let me wipe that off. We'll just finish putting this in there. It should hold it all. So like I said, we're still going to put a solid color behind this. Okay, we'll have to scrape the rest out. I'm spritzing alcohol and got my air purifier going off. Do y'all hear it? It's so sensitive. Everything causes that thing to kick off. Okay. We'll scrape here, try to get everything out of there that we can. One last scrape. Now, that should be all. Now, I'm always worried that is unmixed resin. So I always take my dotting tool and I kind of mix it up. Dotting tool, whatever you have. Looks like it was glitter. I just want to make sure it's going to cure up. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. Now, I'm going to spritz this in case there are bubbles, and that alcohol will dissipate on its own. But I think that's going to be really, really pretty. I've still got just a little bit of room to put a backing behind this. So guys, I'm going to get my spatula cleaned up. And I'm going to wipe my table down, and we'll be back once this cures up to do our final layer. So I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so I got 3 ounces of my Bond Crafter resin that I have not mixed up yet. I just poured it. And we are going to put this pink snow from Just Resin in it. Always give it a mix when you first open it, because you see how that color changes? That's where it's separating. You want to get all that color mixed in there. I think this will make a beautiful background choice for this piece. Okay, just give it a good mix. Scrape your bottoms and your sides when you do. You want all that color incorporated. Okay, now this is one of their thinner pastes. All right, I'm just going to scrape the bottom off, and I'm just going to use that much. I think that'll be plenty. And it is Pink Snow Just Resin. Let's see if it's enough color. I'm sure it will be. Don't y'all think that'll make a beautiful background color for this? Isn't that gorgeous? All right, guys, I'm going to get this mixed up, get it in the vacuum chamber, and we will be back to pour in just a moment. All right, guys, got my resin out of the vacuum chamber. So let's pour this. The color's really pretty. Just try not to jerk to spill it everywhere. Okay, I gotta stop. I can feel my arm trying to jerk. Okay, otherwise I'm gonna spill it. It's a lot easier if I use both hands and try to steady myself. Okay. Here we go. We're going to have some left. And I figured we would. I figured we wouldn't need about 2 ounces. But I didn't want to. And actually, we've only used 1 ounce now. Yeah, we've only used 1 ounce. I really thought it would use more than that. Give it just a little bit more. So we're going to have to find something for the other 2 ounces. I'm hoping it'll dome slightly without overflowing. Down here at the bottom, it looks like it's kind of not too bad. I think we're good there, though. All right, 2 ounces. Give me a moment. We'll find a mold. All right, guys. I'm going to move this up here out of the way. Actually, you know what? I think I'll move it to the side. There we go. I got these in the mail the other day, and it's paper clips. So let's see if we can do a few of these. I want to do my cross. Oh, this is going to be hard, isn't it? Okay. Let me steady myself. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do that way. Let's get a pipette. Took me a minute to remember the word. Okay, I'm going to get one of these big ones and I'm going to cut the tip off. There we go. Now let's see if I can fill it up this way maybe. This will be much easier for me. I used to never use these things. And then I discovered how much easier it made stuff. And now I use them quite often. Hope I don't get bubbles down in there. Okay. These big pipettes hold quite a bit. So it makes filling these up quicker. I just pull it up in there. Scrape some of it off the side so I don't drop. Sorry guys, I'm not speaking. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm shaking so bad that it's a little rough. Alright, I do have some bubbles on there. I'm just going to spritz it and we'll come back and fill it all the way up. Okay. Let's do the heart. And you'll see what I mean when I say I shake. If you watch this thing, you'll see my tremor. My dad is a whole lot worse than I am. And that's where I got it from. My sisters do the same thing. And my brother does as well. Okay. Trying to get it to go to the edges. Put some more down here, if I have any. I think I'm going to have to suck up some more. Okay. That one doesn't need a whole lot more. It'll still need topped, but okay. I don't see any bubbles on it, so we're going to go ahead and try to see if we can dome it up. Just a little bit more, I think. Okay, that one's good. See if I can get a little more in this cross up here. We're getting there. Just get everything that's in here in the cross, I think. Well, it might be good too. Yeah. There we go. Now what one, guys? The flower would be cute in pink. It really doesn't take much to do these. I could probably do every single one of them. Okay. See if I can get it around through here. Here we go up there. Okay. Now let's get it to dome. I don't know how well this will work really as a paper clip, being resin, but they're cute. There we go. All right. On to the coffee cups, I guess. Okay. Okay, that filled up there. Oops, I went a little over. I'll have to fix that if it doesn't suck it back down in there. Sometimes if you're not domed, it'll suck it all back down in there, and I think it did. You might have a little tiny place you have to clean up, but not bad. Okay. Now, there's an air bubble. This is really pretty pink. See if we can get this one to dome. I think that's good. Yeah, they all look pretty good if you look at them from the bottom. Might as well do that apple over here. I have a feeling I'm not going to do the tree because a pink tree. I mean, I guess you could. My sister probably has a pink tree. The one that I did the clock for. I told you she's pink everything. Actually, I believe she might have done a pink tree one year. We'll save it for last. Come on out. I see some bubbles up in there. Okay, where were we? Here? There came a bubble out. This one needs some more in the center there. He didn't look like he's quite full, does it? And definitely here. Definitely want a long working resin when you're doing this. Slow process. Tone this one. Hopefully these bubbles will dissipate on their own. Okay, another little drop there. All right, let's suck some more up. Move on over to the next one. Okay. Got this mold off of Amazon. I didn't realize these were as big as they were. I thought they were small. And then I seen a video or something. I don't remember. And it showed how big they were. And I was like, wow, it's kind of shocking. So I really thought they were small. Okay, gotta get some more. This pipette only holds 5 milliliter. So you can see how little these take. Get all these holes filled in. And hopefully that doesn't leave bubbles. Well, they take half an ounce each or something, maybe. I think. It's about what we've been using. Great little extras mold. Just going to put a couple more little drops. And I think that one's good. Okay. Suck up some more. Let's do a pencil. This one looks like it's going to hold quite a bit more than some of them. Okay. Get this here. Okay, we're getting there. I don't know if we'll have enough to do another one or not. I don't think we will. We might have enough to do one. Okay. Gonna cover all those bubbles they've got there. Okay. All right. Do we have enough to do the star? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I think we might be able to get the star. All right, let's start over here and see if we can. Got a lot of bubbles in there. This one's got a wide enough center that I can scrape it into the center. Okay. I'd just like to get enough of it to get to the center to where I can scrape it, or close to anyways. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to. There's quite a bit of air bubbles in this. I believe we might make it. We might have just enough to fill this thing. Okay. Now, I'm going to squeeze this and try to get everything that's in there out because I need it. There we go. One more squeeze. Okay, that's it. I'm going to throw that in the bin. Now let's see if we can scrape out the rest of this right into the center and fill it up. If I can get them to connect, then it should spread out a little better, I think. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't know if I can do this, guys. I'm probably going to overflow it, but I'm going to try to dome it. This one will have cleanup, I'm sure. Okay, and I got just a smidgen left, not really enough to do anything with. That's got a bubble. See if I can pop it. There we go. Any more bubbles? That looks like that's sucking that right down in there, so that's good. All right, I believe I can take, I'm going to move these. Yep, only me, only me. Nah, I'm sure there's other people as clumsy as I am. Maybe not as clumsy, but close maybe. I can't be alone. Okay. Yep, I'll be cleaning that one up. Okay. It's still good though. All right. Now we'll push it out of the way. I believe we can put the rest of this in here because it's just a little smidgen amount, and then I can clean my cup. This will dome it a little bit better. Okay, one more scrape. Okay, that is good. Maybe some of these can take an extra drop, and we won't waste any of it. Okay. One last little drop. Good deal. All right, guys, we'll let all this cure up. I'm going to overflow at the bottom. You'll see it. And so I got to get some of that back out. Not much. There's a resin piece there, or like a bubble where it had, I dripped it. I should have cleaned that off first, and it probably wouldn't be trying to overflow. Let's see, which one? Still think this heart could use a little more. I don't think it's domed, just not quite like the others. So I think it's got less of a chance of overflowing on me. Nice little drip drop. There we go. And this is still overflowing there. We'll just have to clean it up a little bit, I think, when it's done. Okay. Now, last little drip drop. All right, guys, I'm just going to leave that be. I'm going to clean these up. And guys, I do use my mold release spray on my silicone cups or my silicone spatulas after I clean them up. And I got the treadmill belt lubricant for my handmade molds to mold down. Somebody told me about that, and it is awesome. It will cause your silicone molds to last longer. So get it on Amazon. Alrighty, guys, we'll let all this cure up. We'll come back for a demold. So I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so these are done. I got a little cleanup to do because I accidentally stuck my self into this. Ooh, they're a little soft. Okay. You can see the cleanup I've got to do on this. It should just peel right off. I bent over trying to get something. And, yep, got right into it. So let's just get that. Okay, that's cute. See a little around the handle. Let's scrape this as well. I just don't want no sharp pieces. And because of that overflow, yeah, I got to get all that off. Alrighty. So paper clips. Okay. They're all very pretty. Gotta do this. And they're all domed very well, so they don't really need trimming other than the places, the two on the bottom that I got into. And you can just scrape that off. It scrapes off very easy. Now, the star I got into as well. I had already tried to get most of it off, but it's got just a little spot right here on the corner. There we go. And there. All right. Now I got it. I've been spraying alcohol. So I got that thing going off. Okay, now get this one. That is cute. You could do these in all different colors. It's pretty. I do like them. This will be a great extras mold. And an apple. All right. Very cute. You could put just some rhinestones if you wanted on them, but because they're paper clips, I wouldn't do that myself. Because if you're putting them in a book or something, using them as a bookmark. All right, now I'll have some trimming to do on this thing. Let's see if we can get it out. Okay. Now you got to pop this out. This always needs cleaned up. And just put that right back down in your mold so you don't lose it. Come on. I know it goes in there. There we go. All right. Very pretty. I don't see any bubbles. So that is good. I got one right there. I felt it. I'll fix that one. It's very pretty. Now you see what I mean with the trimming around that? This is always, every time a little bit leaks through there and you have to trim that up. Now I'll get the inside. The inside's a little trickier to get than the outside. If you can take a scalpel or a craft knife, whatever you want to call it, and go around that, you can get it. Now, I've got a little, there's a few little bubbles where it overflowed, or where I dripped it rather. So we're going to scrape, and that's where it's overflowed in this corner. And I just go around and I scrape that edge. Try to get all those little loose bubbles off. Looks like a little overage there too. Okay. There's a bubble. And then it doesn't need trimmed anymore after you get all those bubbles off. We domed it. So it's pretty smooth. What about the outside? The outside I think I've got pretty good. Little spot here. And you can take a nail file and do this as well. Or a deburring tool. I can't say it, guys. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. Just go around. Get all those extra bubbles. I'd rather do it this way than with a nail file, because I have a tendency with a nail file to scratch the piece. And I don't want to scratch it. Okay. Now, get us a paper towel here. Try to get all these little pieces here. All right, now let me wipe this off. That's very pretty. You can still see some of the white. Here's our little purple ones. I love that. Love the way that looks. And then set this down. This sets in it. I think the red's going to match better. These are just little flowers I got off of Temu years ago. And that's it. So I have a pink one. Yeah, the red's better. All right, that's it, guys. We'll snap a photo of everything, put it at the end, and I'll see you guys back for the next video. So, bye for now.